What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, then be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notifications so you never miss a new video. And today we're back in the kitchen because I'm going to be showing you how to make protein ice cream, and trust me, it tastes absolutely amazing. You might have stumbled upon Greg Doucette, who has a recipe for this. This isn't, I'm kind of using the same principles, but I'm putting my own twist on it. So shout out to Greg, because he actually was the one who exposed me to protein ice cream. And then as I slowly started doing it more and more, I started to add different things and experimenting. And that's the beauty with protein ice cream, is that there's so many different flavors you can do. So today what I want to be showing you is I'm going to be showing you guys a chocolate banana peanut butter protein ice cream. I don't know if you guys are anything like me, but ice cream is one of my favorite things to binge on. I can easily sit down and slam back a whole container of ice cream. But the best part about this protein ice cream recipe I'm about to show you is that it comes with half the calories. You're actually getting most of those calories coming from protein instead of the fat that you get with your store-bought brands of ice cream that you would be eating. Like I said, it is a high volume food, so it's perfect if you're dieting. Even if you're not dieting, you're in a bulk. This is honestly a treat, and I look forward to it every single night. So that's the beauty. And like I mentioned at the start of the video as well, you can customize it. So you can have like a strawberry banana, you can have a peach mango, you can have, if you wanted to get weird and kind of have like a kiwi blueberry, whatever you want. Basically you can experiment. But I know personally for me, chocolate banana peanut butter is probably by far one of my best things to combine. So that's why I went with this. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to sharing you guys this recipe. Alright, so instead of just chucking everything in the blender and kind of explaining as I go, I do want to lay out the ingredients to show you everything that I'll be using. Some of these things are optional, some things you can exclude, but I found that these things have really, when they all come together, they really make an awesome protein ice cream. So yeah, I want to go through each thing individually to kind of give you an explanation of the portion sizes and just why I include it. So the first thing obviously we're going to need is we're going to need a good quality blender. As you can see here, I'm using a Ninja. If you're using an old shitty blender, I would highly recommend to make the investment and upgrade. This thing's absolutely phenomenal. I got it at Walmart for only 100 bucks. I'm not sure if it would be the same if you're using like a $20 or $30 blender. I'm not sure if you get the same result, but this Ninja is absolutely amazing. Definitely give it a try if you are, and let me know. But this is an absolute must. You definitely need a decent blender, and this one does the trick. So that's the first thing you're gonna need, is a blender. The second thing that I'm going to be using is, in order to make it chocolatey or have that chocolate flavor, we are going to be going with the protein powder. This is an isolate. I would definitely recommend using a whey. I've used both, and I find that the whey is definitely a better taste. So this is going to give us that chocolate taste. It's going to really help increase that protein as well. So that's going to be one of our dry ingredients. Is going to be 1 scoop of chocolate protein powder. And if you find yourself wanting to increase that protein, just know that you can use 2 scoops. You're just going to get some added calories, obviously. But yeah, if you want that extra flavor, then you can use 2 scoops. But here I've just got 1 scoop of isolate protein powder. And then the next ingredient, as you can see here, I've got the container. I wanted to show you guys this as well. This is what we're going to be using to flavor the peanut butter. So this is actually PB&Me. This is powdered peanut butter. I know there's a difference with consistencies, and people find that there's definitely a difference with powdered peanut butter versus regular peanut butter. But I find that this makes perfect if you're just putting it in the blender versus mixing it and eating as if you're eating like peanut butter on toast or something. So I find that this is very, very good for the lower calories compared to what you'd get in normal peanut butter. You're getting 60 calories for 2.5 tablespoons. Right here, I've probably got about 2.5 tablespoons. So that's actually going to be about 15 grams of powdered peanut butter. So that's what I'll be using, and trust me, this really adds a lot, and you're only getting 60 calories for about double the servings of what you get for normal peanut butter. You're probably getting about 90 calories per tablespoon of peanut butter. So this is the way to go for sure. So that's going to be the next ingredient. And as you can see here, I'm going to be using cocoa powder. This is an optional ingredient. If you don't want those extra calories, then that's fine. I think that it does a lot for the flavor, and if you do have those calories, maybe you can budget into your day, like if you are currently dieting and you're on lower calories. If you find that this, give it a try, and if you find it makes a big difference, then you can include it. Right here I've got about 1 tablespoon. Actually, I'd say that's probably about 2.5 tablespoons. But yeah, like if you're only getting 10 calories for 1 tablespoon. So I would say I have about 25 calories of cocoa powder here, and I find the brand name does make a huge difference. I went with obviously Hershey's. I just find that it really adds a lot to it. It really adds into that, really kind of goes good with that protein powder to make it even more chocolatey, I guess if that's a word. But that's what I would go with. That's cocoa powder, and it's Hershey's. Like I said, that's more of an optional one. if you don't want those extra calories. The next thing here is I've got some basically stevia. It's whole earth. It's just no calories, 0 calorie sweetener. I just find that that goes a long way as well. You don't have to add this, but yeah, there's definitely a noticeable taste difference. It just kind of gives it a little bit of sweetness. So like I said, you're getting 0 calories, you're able to add a little bit of sweetness. Once again, it's optional, but I would highly recommend it. So those are more so the dry ingredients that I've got there. The next 2 ingredients I want to cover is basically the foundations of it, I guess you would say. So here I got some banana. I actually buy banana and I freeze it just to make it last longer. So on that note, if you're using frozen banana, then as you can see over here, I do have ice. You might not need the ice if you're using frozen banana, just because you'll kind of get that thick consistency to begin with, but it doesn't hurt to add some extra ice. What the ice is good for is that it really adds to the volume of the protein ice cream. So if you want to really fill this blender, you can add ice, and the more ice you add, the more kind of volume you're going to get. But yeah, I do like using frozen banana. I find that it just kind of gives that ice cream texture right off the bat. So that would be the next ingredient. This is actually just 1 banana. And then this is the absolute key ingredient. I know you're gonna look at me funny when I say cottage cheese, but trust me, if you don't like cottage cheese, like I'm not a big fan of cottage cheese eating it on its own, but when you put it in a blender and you blend it up, you honestly cannot notice the difference. You don't even know you're eating cottage cheese. It just gives a nice taste. It adds to that protein value. So right here, you've got 1 cup of cottage cheese. Once again, it's frozen. So like I'm able to kind of not have to add as much ice. It kind of gives that thick frozen consistency that I'm looking for right off the bat. So that's normally what I do. I do tend to use unfrozen cottage cheese as well, and then I'll just add more ice. So that's kind of how this is, like I said, so 1 cup. If you're weighing it out, it's 250 grams of cottage cheese. So that's like, I guess, the main protein source other than the protein powder. So those are the ingredients there. And then, like I said, the ice is optional if you want to add it. I will be adding a little bit of ice in here. I think I've got maybe, I don't even know how much that is, like half a cup, not even half a cup. But yeah, you can just kind of add it as you go if you think that you need more ice. And the next thing, before I cover the absolute essential ingredient that you're going to need, this is an absolute must. I'm going to cover that in a second. But here I've actually got almond milk. So this is actually a cup, but I probably only filled it 3/4 of the way. So it's about 3/4 of a cup. Once again, we're going for that low calorie, high volume food, so this is perfect. Great substitute for milk. It really kind of adds a little bit of liquid to get the blender going. So I just find that does it, just kind of like I said, makes it blend easier. And then this is the absolute essential ingredient. It's xanthan gum. This was extremely hard to find. This is really what makes the protein ice cream. It really gives it that Wendy's like texture, I guess you'd say. So basically it acts as a thickening agent and it helps expand as well. So if you add this in, magic will happen. Trust me. I had to go for a search for this. I think I originally ordered it on Amazon because I couldn't find it. So I had to wait like a couple days before it came in, but I was being impatient and everything. I decided to go to every single grocery store around, and I did find it at a Sobeys. And if you go to the natural section, you can find it in the natural section. So definitely look long and hard at your grocery stores. Try checking the natural section, maybe look it up on the website where you can get it. But yeah, if you can't find it at your grocery store, which you should be able to, because I was able to find it. This is actually bought at the grocery store. I do have another brand that I actually bought on Amazon, but like I said, I bought 2 of them because I was just so impatient. But this is the magic ingredient, xanthan gum. I'm using about 2 tablespoons, or about 4 or 5 grams. So it's got like 5 calories per tablespoon. So there might be 15 calories here. So that's basically all the ingredients. So I figured I'd cover them in depth so you can kind of have an idea of the measurements. I will put the macros at the end as well for the total, but there are some optional things, like obviously, like if you didn't want to use the cocoa powder, you don't have to use that. Like if there's different things you can substitute in. I just find that having all these things combined definitely really make a huge difference. Yeah, so those are the ingredients. Now let's blend this thing up. Alright guys, I just took it off the blender. So I'm going to show you the consistency here. I just tasted it. It tastes absolutely awesome. So as you can see, it is very ice cream-like. It is a little thick. I kind of had to add a little bit more extra almond milk. So I'd highly encourage you maybe use a full cup of almond milk. But just play with it as you go for the consistency. But I'll show you a close-up here so you can see. So that's what it's looking like there. And trust me guys, I really look forward to this every single night. It's a really great dieting hack. And like you can see, there's a lot of volume in this blender. For best results, I do like to refrigerate about an hour before I actually eat it. So that's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, definitely give this one a try. Alright guys, so there you have it. I hope you enjoyed that recipe. Definitely give it a try. Trust me, it's an easy way to get a lot of protein in. And with the cottage cheese, you are getting a slow digesting protein, so it's perfect to have late at night, especially if you got those cravings. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell notifications. I do definitely appreciate it. I'm looking forward to putting a lot more content out to you guys, so be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notifications. Also drop the video a like. I do appreciate all the support and the feedback. It definitely goes a long way, and I'll catch everybody in the next one. Alright, peace out.